How you doing, guys? Big MacLeod here today, back once again with another video for you. It's a spinny video of Catachan Sergeant Ripper Jackson. Let's take a look at it, shall we? Yeah, I've painted it. It's taken me about a week to paint it. That's probably one of the fastest miniatures I've ever painted. If you want to see a nice little a reel of this miniature, you can do on my Instagram, on Big MacLeod's Instagram. So pop on over there and check that out if you like. But of course, you don't have to. But I do post some things on there occasionally that I won't post onto YouTube, or that you'll get to see them sooner sometimes than you will on YouTube. So follow me on Instagram if you're not already doing so. Anyway, yeah, let's talk about the miniature itself. It's a fantastic miniature to put together, to build, and to paint as well. It was a real pleasure. I think this kind of miniature really lends itself to contrast paints because there's not many hard edges there. There's a lot of organic shapes. So what I did was my usual technique of a zenithal prime. So what I did first was the red Halford's primer, and then I shot from above with the Wraithbone spray from GW, and then that gives you a nice reddish shadow in the recesses. And if you look on the back of her arms here as it turns round, you'll notice she's slightly redder under the arms than she is towards the top of the arms. The flesh paint I used was Dark Oath Flesh, nice and simple. I could go in there and give that a bit of a dry brush of another lighter fleshy tone if I wanted to bring it up to another level, but I'm not too bothered at the minute. I'm quite happy with the way she's looking, especially just for getting her on the tabletop and stuff like that. The greens I've used are my same greens I used for my orcs, with Militarum green and Plague Bearer flesh. If you look at her tank top, when she gets round to the front now, that is just Plague Bearer flesh by itself on the tank top, and then the waistcoat is just Militarum green. I've used some Skeleton Horde on it on various areas, on the skulls on the base, but then I've actually gone over there and I quite like the effect it's given. I think I've touched it with a bit of the green paint and stuff, so it kind of looks like the skulls buried beneath a bit of moss and stuff like that, so I like that look. One thing to add as well, just where she connects to the base, because she comes with her own scenic base that you stick on top of her standard GW base, and there was a slight gap around the edge. So what I did, I added a bit of Lustrian Undergrowth, I think it is, the GW sort of a jungle texture paint. So I added a bit of that, and then I went in with various contrast paints to get it to the colour it is. I can't give you the exact recipe, unfortunately, because I didn't write it down. Not to worry though. Yeah, so the pants are mainly Militarum green, but then I've gone over the top with some Black Templar for some of the camo splashes. And the other paint I used was a Bleached Bone. It's a really old GW paint from the 90s. The leather parts on the miniature are snakebite leather, which I like to use. The metallic parts on the miniature are the old GW bolt gun metal, and then I've washed them with the silver metallics, at least. I've washed them with Basilicanum grey, watered down, and any goldish or bronzish metal parts are just your bolt gun metal, but then covered with a GW paint, a GW contrast paint rather. One of them was snakebite leather, and the other one was Nazdrag yellow, the more sort of yellowy goldy looking, and Nazdrag yellow. All the black areas are Black Templar, and onto the red areas, they are a mixture of Blood Angels red and Flesh Terror red. It's nice and simple. The handle for the sword, the hilt for the sword, I went over with Blood Angels red first, and then I put Flesh Terrors red on top of it. So I don't know if it gives you, if it's worth doing that really, but I feel like the higher edges kind of show that Blood Angels red a little bit and give you a nice little transition. And then I did a similar thing with the bandana. The bandana, I went in with the Griff Charger orange and then Blood Angels red on top of that, and it gives you this nice sort of orangey bandana look, which I really like. It's sort of reminiscent of the way the Catachan miniatures used to be painted in the 90s. And that is more or less everything. The tentacles and stuff on the base and the inside of some of the plants and stuff like that. I went in with mixtures of watered down Blood Angels Red and also the Dark Oath Flesh. And the base is rimmed with Steel Legion Drab, which I'm quite fond of for some of these mucky looking bases. I use the Steel Legion Drab to rim my Death Guard miniatures as well. I think it comes out really nice looking. One thing I might need to go back in, if you look on the chainsword when it comes back round, the parchment on the chainsword, it just looks a bit too dark, a bit too red. What I need to do in there is probably go back in with a bone paint, and then, or even just with the Wraithbone paint from GW, and then just put a wash of Skeleton Horde over the top of it, probably just to adjust it slightly. That is pretty much everything though. If I've missed anything, let me know. In her mouth, I've not gone in to highlight the teeth or anything like that, and I've not highlighted the eyes, but I did put a little bit of watered down Blood Angels Red in there, just to give it that pinkish sort of human mouth kind of look. And on some of her scratches on her arms as well, I went in with a bit of watered down Blood Angels Red, but really watered down, just so there was the barest hint of red around those wounds, like they're just fresh cuts from roaming through the jungle. Anyway, I'll leave it there for now, guys. Thanks very much for watching. Before you go, don't forget to give the video a like if you've enjoyed it. Any questions you've got, you can ask in the comments below. There's a button here for you to subscribe if you've not already done so, and a Patreon link here if you'd like to support the channel. There's also a couple of videos here for you to check out at your leisure. Thanks very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the battlefield.